Hello, everybody. It is me, Demetra Kaye, and I hope that you are having a great day. Now, I know normally y'all see me on here at 11 a.m. Central Time, but unfortunately, the internet in my whole entire area went down, and so I couldn't go live. And then I don't know, maybe 45 minutes or so after I was supposed to go live, the internet came on. So I was like, okay, it doesn't seem like anybody else is going to fire this thing up, so I'll do it. I don't know if I'll be here an hour, but I'll be here long enough, I guess. But I should say again, welcome to the African Diaspora News Channel. You can find me on my show, the Demetra Kaye Show, here on YouTube as well. Usually I go live from Sunday through Wednesday at 5 p.m. Central Time. So just want to let you know where you can find me. Also today, we're going to be talking about Roland Martin and Charlemagne the God. They kind of dragged each other a little bit over the Democrat Party drama. And of course, we'll get into all that. I'm going to show you all two videos just to kind of illustrate the point that I am making. But in the meantime, of course, I will speak for about 15 minutes or so, and then I'll spend the rest of the time having a conversation with you all in the comment section. So I'll address your comments, questions, concerns, whatever it is you may have. It is my pleasure to do that. But in the meantime, as y'all can see there at the bottom, we are asking everybody who has not done it already to please go to your Play Store on your phone and download the African Diaspora News app, please. And thank you again. You can find it on your Play Store on your phone. And it's important that you find it and download it today, right away, because it is Black owned. And of course, you guys know how it is on these platforms. We do not own these platforms at all. So they can say or do whatever they want to us in a sense, right? Not anything they want to do, but in regards to these platforms, but on our own platform, we can say what we want to say, right? We can be as black as we want to be black. And we don't have to, mute out certain words. Like we don't have to say delete and unalive, the stuff that is like normal stuff you should be able to say. But on our own platform, we could do that. So again, go to your Play Store, African Diaspora News, please and thank you. So who do we have on here as we wait? The God, it's over, or thank God it's over, rather. How you doing? Okay, so you put up a Bible scripture. King Nova, how you doing? Mag, I hope you're doing well. Destiny, what's going on with you? J-Man, what's up? He says Barbados in the house. Okay. Darnisha, what's going on with you? LB, chill. Peace on to you. Buckhorse, how are you? And Isaac, hope that you are doing well. He says the demonic Democrats trying to get health care for illegals are a joke. Oh, Lord. I don't know if we're going to talk about that, but I guess maybe we will. Ocean Lover, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. You got a whole bunch of emojis up in there. Might have to break that down for me. Tremel, what's going on with you from Philly? All right, I think I've tap danced long enough. Okay, and Rodney, how you doing? So let's go ahead and get into it for the sake of time. Again, this is not my normal time. Oh, I should say Happy Veterans Day to all of those that are out there who are veterans. Thank you for your service. Today is your day to kind of go around and get all the free food from the restaurants that are giving it to you, right? I should also say, I meant to say this earlier. When I was a girl, like a younger girl, I used to go on to the military bases, to have fun with my homegirls and things like that. And it was a lot of fun. And I always tell the younger women, 18 and over, man, I don't know, y'all missing a good time, boy. I don't know if they still let people on the base. You have to get sponsored on by somebody you knew. But yeah, that show was good times. In fact, my daughter's father he was rather a Marine. So they had their 250th birthday yesterday. So anyway, y'all don't care about that. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. So as you guys may or may not know, I guess we're kind of still in the shutdown. They being Congress are trying to figure things out. Sounds like they had a vote last night. It passed, and I guess they're going to have another one in the House today to see if it'll pass. Now, as of Sunday, it was 40 days of a shutdown. And it was the longest in history. Again, the first one belonged to Trump at 35 days. This one, 40 days and counting still. And so, of course, you guys know there's a whole lot of fallout. The Democrats are saying we want them to, keep the tax breaks on the Affordable Care Act. They, being the Republicans, do not get rid of it. And the Republicans, are saying, well, we don't want to do that. So that's kind of just in brief where the standoff was. But some Democrats crossed over. And of course, with that, the aviation system was it was and still is kind of going through some things where they're having to cancel a whole bunch of flights, even still to this moment. Of course, you know that SNAP recipients, those who receive food stamps, could not get that. So there's some that's gotten them, some that hasn't. It's kind of in limbo. Trump is still trying to sue those states so that they don't release them. And I guess he wants them to undo what they did already. So it's still a mess. So anyway, Charlemagne the God last week, of course, you know, he's on the Breakfast Club. He made a comment in regards to the Democrat Party. They kind of should just give up, right? And let the Republicans do what they want. Because I guess he kind of felt like, well, they don't really have a choice because they're not really in control. Well, of course, Roland took exception to that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play you about a 3-minute or so snippet, because Charlemagne actually gave Roland the donkey of the day. You guys know his whole little donkey of the day thing. I guess it's somebody who's done something that deserves to be in the spotlight, not for a good reason. So anyway, it's about 3 minutes, but the whole donkey of the day segment was about 15. Y'all can go to the Breakfast Club and check that out. So of course you'll see a still. You won't see the whole video like moving around. I mean, it's sped up a little bit for the sake of time. And then I'm going to go on to another video. So y'all ready? Here we go.
Surprised to me that Roland had an opinion on my opinion of this current government shutdown, because I feel like Democrats, even though they put up a great fight, it was a valiant effort in regard to healthcare. It was a fight they couldn't win right now. Okay, keyword right now. So open the government back up because people are out here suffering. Roland didn't like that. Okay, he posted this video with the headline, "Beyond Idiotic, Roland tears down Charlemagne's shutdown misinformation." That's the word that got my attention, misinformation. What did I say that was misinformation? Well, let's listen to Roland Martin.
Do me a favor. Do not listen to people like Charlemagne the God. Okay, so Charlemagne was talking about this government shutdown, and he made a comment as related to what Democrats should be doing. Y'all have that? Do not listen to what the hell he just said. That to me is beyond idiotic, because this battle that we're seeing is not solely about healthcare. Rebecca, I don't know what the hell that was. That was just bull.
Roland, what makes what I said BS? I said the healthcare is going to go up anyway because of the big, beautiful bill, because that didn't include the extension of the tax credits to keep the cost down. That's fact-based. Okay, Mimi pointed out that some people were already receiving higher premiums since the beginning of the open enrollment period. People have been receiving notices of higher premiums. So where was the misinformation? Roland, you may not agree that Dems should concede and vote for the government to be reopened, but don't say it's misinformation. Okay, maybe I gave too short an explanation. Maybe I oversimplified it. Maybe I should be clearer for the audience. If you would have said I disagree with Charlemagne, Democrats should fight and not vote to reopen the government until some concessions are made on healthcare, cool, I would understand that. It's fair. But to say it's some BS and label it as misinformation, that's just a lie. But that's my opinion, not misinformation. Republicans are scared to death of that administration, and they have zero reason to make any concessions. They already have everything they want in the big deadly bill. Okay, massive tax cuts stay. ACA subsidy extensions didn't make it in. Deep cuts to Medicaid and social programs already in there. They have zero reason to play ball. Roland knows this, but he would rather sell y'all false hope instead of telling you the truth. You know who would be one of the first people out here fake dragging Democrats for YouTube views because of that? Roland Martin. Even though he knew that was going to be the obvious political outcome from the beginning.
And when we're fighting on behalf of people, they understand that there are people who are not getting benefits. They know there are federal workers who are not getting their paychecks as well.
You know why Roland Martin can say that so nonchalantly? Because he's not potentially facing eviction because he hasn't paid his rent for the month. He doesn't need any money this month to pay for his child care. And SNAP benefits, food. Does Roland Martin, the boo-boo bill, he's missing any meals? Reason. Rotund Martin wants to paint the Breakfast Club, me in particular, as a person spreading misinformation. See, I'm going to pull the curtain back a little bit, not too much because it really don't matter. I just want some of you to know people's motivation. Roland Martin is a hater. Okay, he be hating on me behind the scenes to anybody who will listen. He will say something negative about me, and it's always in regards to how I'm moving in this media space. In particular, anything in the political realm. It's always a, why does he get this? Why does he get that type of thing? Why is he on cable news? Why do politicians go sit with the Breakfast Club? Roland, I don't know. Okay, favor ain't fair, but he will do all that hating, but love texting my phone asking to come on the Breakfast Club. It was rumors of Tyler buying BET, and the headline of the video he posted was Roland's blistering deconstruction of Paramount's idiotic failed attempt to sell BET. Now, in that same episode, Roland had this to say about me. Mind you, he texted my phone and told me to tune in and listen.
It's after the death of George Floyd. She said, the leaders of BET came to me and said, it's time for us to do a news show. She said, we did exhaustive research. She said, after we ran all the metrics, she said the research came back, and the number one person they said, Black America said they wanted to see host a news show on BET was you. She said, Charlemagne was on the list. And she said, and then when Comedy Central launched his show, she said, they're using my research.
Well, Roland, who else was on the list? Okay, why do you have to let people know that out of all the other people who I'm sure was on the list, Charlemagne the guy was on the list? Roland, I am not your competition, and I refuse to be responsible for how you feel about yourself. You accuse Breakfast Club of spreading misinformation because you are trying to discredit me in the platform I have helped to build, as if that's going to amplify what you're doing. You don't have to do that, brother. You already are. You are a 56-year-old seasoned political pundit. You have a lot of respect in the space of political commentary. You are a trusted source for a lot of people, Roland. Be secure in that and stop projecting your insecurities onto me. There's a lot of things I disagree with Roland on, and even with knowing he be sneak dissing, not once until today have I ever spoken on him in a public manner. And it's never been disparaging. But Roland out here lying, accusing us of spreading misinformation, that's an intentional attack to discredit us. What if I did an intentional attack to discredit you? What if I said, could someone out there make me an AI video? Okay, I want an AI video of the Stephanie Mills challenge, and I want Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffrey singing "I Never Knew Love Like This Before," and I want Roland Martin in the background of that video dancing for Democrats like he do. I'm talking boogieing for biscuits.
All right. So again, that was pretty sped up. Y'all can catch the whole Donkey of the Day segment on the Breakfast Club. It's on YouTube. There's so much left out. I mean, Charlemagne said so many things. I think he said a lot of things that a lot of us, especially in this Black media space, have already kind of known about. Roland, of course, y'all know that Roland has gone on the Breakfast Club, sounds like a couple of times and things like that. And I was rather shocked when I saw that Roland, basically told people not to listen to him and this, that, and the other. I'm like, wow, I thought y'all was, friends or whatever the case is. And then when I heard Charlemagne, I give him the Donkey of the Day and just kind of unleash, right? Because he said, it's not a secret. I hear that you be talking about me, for lack of better words, behind my back. But basically they were having a fight over whether, I guess, the Democrats should give up or not. And then, of course, Roland basically said that Charlemagne and Roland's guest as well basically was saying that he's, misleading people and don't listen to him. Y'all know how Roland get down. And then, of course, Charlemagne pretty much deduced it down to Roland is a hater. Now, I've also seen a lot of people disagree with Charlemagne. They're more or less like, how dare you talk about Roland like that and all the things that he's doing for Black media? How dare you? And I'm like, okay, if you put all of the things that he said aside about the Democrats, because the opinions about whether the Democrats should have tapped out or not are all over the place, right? So I don't know if there's really a right or a wrong answer. But I want to kind of back up what Charlemagne said in regards to Roland being a hater. So here we go. Now, this may be sped up a little bit too, but nevertheless, here you go.
So many people jumped on saying he's not a real doctor. Okay. Where did you graduate from and you got your PhD?
My undergraduate education was from Millersville University, 3 degrees, political science, psychology, master's in school psychology. Subsequent to that, Pennsylvania certification as a school psychologist, which I've been for almost 20 years. After that, I got my educational leadership master's degree and principal certificate from Lehigh University in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. And I earned my doctorate degree from the Philadelphia College of Osteopathic Medicine, American Psychological Association approved program, one of the top psychology training programs on the East Coast. 6 degrees in all, and anyone can lift up a telephone and call and verify those degrees.
So when you see folks who question your degrees, your response?
It's because my narrative is a whole lot different from the average mainstream Black scholar. I don't parrot the narrative that the American social order wants Black scholars to parrot. I tell the truth. I don't scratch unless I itch, and I don't dance unless I like the music. I'm unapologetically African, so I'm not really concerned with what people think about me personally. I have a job to do, and that is to awaken the sleeping consciousness of African people, not just in America, but all across the world.
So are you related?
I'm about to answer your question.
Okay.
Allow me to do that. I am a blood relative of Frederick Douglass. My name is on the family tree.
No, everybody, 1 second. Several things I don't allow. I don't allow the N-word. I don't allow. We can talk to one another and disagree. I do not use racial epithets against Black people.
That's fine, but he called me a liar.
No. Racial epithets will not be used on this show.
And that's fine.
By anybody.
But how we talk to each other.
You can say whatever you want, but no racial epithets will be used on this show about Black people to Black people.
That, again, voting is not my issue to fight. I believe.
So what's your issue to fight?
My issue, I fight for young Black men before they die. And that's what I do in my organization. I do teach them to vote, but I don't tell them that voting is going to be the be-all, end-all.
No one says the be-all, the end-all, but it's a part of it.
But you guys promote voting like it's just going to change like the systemic outlook of the Black community. That's not where it's at. We have to get out and go do for self in our own communities.
So define do for self.
When I say do for self, you shared one of my tweets, my videos, and I was actually a big fan of yours, but you shared one of my tweets when I said Black people need to stop begging the government and go and do for self out in our communities. You shared the video and called me an idiot. I didn't see anything idiotic about that statement at all.
Can't say they didn't tell you. They said it. We warned people. Yeah, y'all shilling. Y'all know who y'all are. Y'all know. If I had to do a roll call of all them Simple Simon Negroes, yeah. If I had to, don't get me started. I could run the tables on Vicky Dillon, Boyce Watkins, Tariq Nasheed, Umar Johnson, Philip Scott. Oh yeah, Black Authority. All y'all. Look at them, they shilling. Hey, look at them, they shilling for the Democrats. They just chill.
All right. So as you can see there, that tweet actually belongs to me. Now, he responded by saying, you can always count on a loud fool. This idiot, there you go again with the idiot, says, I didn't research the bill. I only read it on, his show. So I basically said, after he had blocked me or whatever, also, if the anti-Asian hate crime bill is for everyone else, where was the everyone else, quote unquote, when Biden was signing the bill? Roland knows most Negroes won't research, so he gets away with bending the truth. So, of course, he kind of went on a rampage, called me a whole bunch of idiots, but I was basically just asking, why won't he, be honest with Black people and just kind of tell us the whole truth? Why just give us one talking point in regards, to the Democrat or whatever? So I put all that up there to say, again, I don't have a dog in a fight as to what they were arguing about, whether the Democrats should have tapped out or whatever the case is. But the thing is, who died and made Roland the king of Black media and the one to be able to disseminate information to Black people? Who made him that person? Well, listen, I'm not defending Charlemagne or anything like that or anybody else, but I'm like, who said that it was only he that could speak to Black people? Who gave him that position? Why can't, if Charlemagne feels like the Democrats need to tap out because they don't have a leg to stand on or whatever, why can't he say that? Why does he need to be labeled as giving misinformation? That is his opinion, right? And as y'all saw there, and I put up the clip with Umar King Randall, and then when he was talking about, others in Black media, including that of Brother Phil Scott and Sister Vicky Dillard, it's like, he does not like, and in my opinion, competition. He does not like people saying, okay, well, he's saying this, but did you know that? Right? He tries to label people and call them idiots. Now, I don't know if y'all remember that interview with King Randall. He was 21 at the time. I think he's 24 now, but 21 at the time. And he's got like a school for boys and, funding it out of his own pocket and getting donations and things like that. 24, right? But I guess Roland wanted to talk to him about voter stuff. And King Randall's like, listen, I hear what you're saying, but I'm trying to teach our, boys to do for self, because that's what we were told to do so many years ago, to do for self. But I guess he wasn't trying to hear it. So, of course, you'll hear a lot of people talk about how, Roland was hating on the kid. He's a kid to me, right? But he's doing great things. Of course, with Umar, he was actually going on to his show when he was his show being Roland, when he was on News One, to talk about an interview that Umar did on the Breakfast Club. But then it somehow turned into an ambush with most of the people on that panel just kind of going in. And I spliced it together. But at the end, you can hear Roland kind of get mad because Umar called them, the C word, the raccoon rather. And that's when he blew his lid or whatever the case is. But it's like, you brought this man on, you asked him all these questions to try to debunk who he is. I mean, I don't even know if they ever got to why he was on there. Or he was talking about relationships, but they rarely even talked about that. It was just a bunch of back and forth. So he brought him on there to ambush him. And so again, I want to know who died and made him the king of dissemination to Black people. Right now, I know, and I always say this about Roland. He's not a dumb man. He's not. He's very smart, very intelligent. He knows his stuff, but it's almost like he doesn't play well in the sandbox with other people. You know what I mean? Because we know that he is, and doesn't sound like he has an issue with it, a Democrat shield. And that's fine for what he's doing. But there's a lot of people who are wanting to leave the plantation. There's a lot of other people like myself. I used to be a Democrat. I'm not gonna lie to kick it. I used to be a Democrat, but when I got more information, I was like, why am I a Democrat? What am I getting from being that? You mean to tell me I show up and vote for the Democrats and I don't get anything from it, right? So once I started to learn and hear other information, because I'm not going to lie to you, I used to listen to Roland again. I'm not saying that he's a silly man, was silly, but he might be silly, but he's intelligent. I used to listen to him. But again, once I started getting more information, I'm like, oh, okay. You mean there's life outside of the box? So that's whether we agree with different voices like your Charlemagne's, your Umars, or whoever it is. That's different thought processes, and it's for that person that's inculcating that message to decide if I want to go along with the messages that I've been hearing, or I want to sit and visit with the new stuff that I'm hearing. But see, the problem is this: people like your Roland don't want Black people to get any more new information. Now, I don't want to delve into, what may or may not be happening. I guess we can all kind of maybe speculate, but maybe there's something in it for him. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe there's something in it for him to keep everybody, as we know it, to be the Democrat plantation. Y'all got to stay here. Now, I don't know how much I want to liken Roland to it, whoever it was that kind of turned Nat Turner in. Of course, y'all know Nat Turner. He was like, hey, you know, it's time for a revolution, and y'all know the story. But obviously somebody turned him in. I kind of I see him as that person that turned in Nat Turner. Hey, Bossa, I know where they at. Yeah, they trying to take other people with them too, right? They trying to take other people off the plantation. And it's like, why? There's plenty of people that will listen to him. You know, there's enough to share. But for me personally, like I said, when I got more information, I was like, yeah, I got to, you know, continue to wake up in regards to politics and things like that. But again, the question I have is, who died and made him the king of Black media and the voice of Black people only? So I want to see what you guys got to say. And thank you for bearing with me. See if I can go all the way back to the top. Let's see. Where did I leave off? Yusuf, did I say hello to you? If not, hello. Walaikum salam to you as well. Clarissa, what's going on with you? Says from Georgia. Jessica, what's going on? It says happy Veterans Day to all the Marines and the Army. Yes, indeed. Hoorah. Yeah, Buckhorse Semper Fi, or however you say it. Albie Chili says they are controlled opposition. Yeah, I've been hearing that term a lot, controlled opposition, which basically means that I guess they are controlled by a puppet master of power that be to oppose, let's say, other viewpoints and things like that. So is that true? I don't know. See, I'm one of those people, I got to like see some receipts. I don't really like to go along with a lot of talking points because people are saying them. It's like, okay, great, but let's back that up with something. But if we're speculating, we could say, okay, sure. That's something we can ponder, right? AB, how you doing? Says shield on shield crime. You crazy. You know what? I said, what did I call it? A shield squabble. Because essentially that's what it is, right? And of course, I don't want to go too far over as far as being disrespectful, things like that. But yeah, it's a shield squabble because Charlemagne, I don't know if he's still that, he was that, a shield or whatever the case is, but it seems like maybe he's thinking about other things, you know, he's starting to challenge the system, the Democrat system. I don't know what Charlemagne's thing is. You know, some people are now accusing him of being MAGA and things like that. But my thing is, if he was MAGA, ain't that his business? It's his business if he wanted to be MAGA, right? We're supposed to be in a free country or whatever the case is. Democracy's in danger. If he wanted to be that, I mean, I don't know. I guess there's worse things, maybe not. Jupiter, how you doing? It's the sad part. Leonard, Charlemagne the God was right, but Boule, Rowley, and his shields got in their projection feelings. Rowley thinks he is autonomy of information, but act like we can't do our own research. Well, the problem is because a lot of us don't. A lot of us don't do our own research. So with that, yeah, you have people like that who could tell you any and everything. Like I said, the Asian hate crime bill, that's when, you know, me and him had a brief tussle, if you want to even call it that. The Asian hate crime bill, of course, they say, oh, it's for everybody. And I'm like, the picture that I put up, you can see everybody wasn't in that picture. Okay. It was Asians in that picture. I didn't see no everybody. I didn't see no Black, I didn't see no Mexicans. I didn't see nobody up in there but Asians. So it's like, if you read it, which he knows most people won't, the first 6 paragraphs or so, it says Asian American Pacific Islanders. That's the language. It didn't say in everybody else and others. But again, like you said, people like that know we won't research. We'll say, oh, for real, the sky is falling. Okay. So yeah. Buckhorse says, rolling your name speaks for us. It's talking about Roland, speaks for itself. What? Where his family flee from? Albert Chill says, cause this Shilla is in the night, you know we ain't gonna fight. And we distract you from the plight. Hippocrates. Okay, is that a song or something? Crystal, how you doing? Says Roland is an exhausting individual. Nobody is listening to him. Well, I would say the opposite is true. There are people listening to him. You know what? That's fine. I'm not mad. I can't think of anybody's mad that people are listening to Roland. Again, Roland was, you know, let's give him his credit. He's kind of like the OG in that space. He is. But again, it kind of reminds me, and I was kind of having a conversation with my daughter. The Nicki Minaj, I don't know if y'all follow all that foolishness, but she doesn't play, she appears to anyway, don't play well in the sandbox with other people. Like if she sees other up and coming talent coming, it's like, it's me. And it's like, well, it could be you and other people. You know what I mean? Is there not room for other, thought processes or anything like that? So yeah, but people are listening to him. Rod, how you doing? He says, are we surprised they are both 304s and Charlemagne is a 304 that allegedly got away with SA? I don't see y'all be going far in the weeds. I don't be going that far into the weeds with that kind of stuff. I hear things, but I don't know that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? If he's done something like that, then he should pay for it. But again, I don't know. Omar, how you doing? Says, yeah, boogieing for biscuits is crazy. The whole donkey of the day is wild. I mean, there's stuff that is a lot of stuff that I cut out. A lot of the, the daggers that was thrown and all that. It's like, whoa. it was crazy. Renz, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Ilmatic, how you doing? It says MAGA versus MAGA, raccoons versus sellouts. The world has gone crazy. You ain't lying. Let's see who else is on here. Isaac, it says Uncle Roly and Charlotte are both Democrat shields. Yes, definitely a shield squabble for sure. Monty, how you doing? Says both of them are irrelevant. I don't think that they're both irrelevant. Now, maybe to certain people they're irrelevant, but I mean, the Breakfast Club just on its own has about 6 million followers. I don't know. Roland probably has about 2. I'm just talking on YouTube. I don't know about the other platforms or whatever. So I wouldn't say that they're irrelevant. They're relevant to somebody, right? They get plenty of views, but it is definitely that. It's 2 Democrats, I don't know, turning on each other. Ocean Lover says clown business and Democrat quarterbacking on both sides. Yep. Voltron Thunder, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Says what? What you talking about? Sherry, how you doing? Says wow. Tell us how you really feel. Renee, what's going on with you? Hope you're doing well. Monty says Israel controlling the U.S. and U.S. versus Russia, World War III, the racism and immigration BS ain't none. No one got time for these 2 clowns. Yeah. And even if there's some wars jumping off, what we going to do about it? What we going to do about it if some wars are jumping off? You better hope you don't get drafted. They might draft me because I'm young enough still, but I'm just kidding. African Native, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Sister Sunlight, what's going on? Yes, see, yes, Donna Brazil and Roland, y'all could look all that up. I won't, disseminate that here, but yeah, it sounds like they got into some funky things at CNN. Donna Brazil, that is, and Roland. King Noble, how you doing? Says Roland ain't the king of nothing. How can a shield bootlegs be the voice of the Black community? I mean, I'm just saying that I don't think we got to lie to kick it. He was. The Roland was the sweetheart of Black media. I'm not making this up. He just was, right? And I guess in some cases he still is. But again, with that not being able to play well in the sandbox with other people, you know what the sandbox is? The sandbox is YouTube. He is in the sandbox with the rest of us commoners, right? Because we know that Roland used to be on TV and all this other stuff. You can still hear him on radios and different things, but he used to have his own show and, all of that. But now he's kind of in the sandbox with the rest of us. So I don't know. Maybe some of that is, I don't know. Maybe he feels a way about that, because now we all are in the same sandbox and we're saying the things that we want. See, before it wasn't like that. You have a national television show. You can say whatever you want, disseminate it to a lot more people. But here in the sandbox is like, well, maybe not so much. You know what, Sunlight? You better stop. Julian, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Priscilla, how you doing? Says, yes, I remember King Randall interview. You are correct. Please, Black on Black. Please, he says, don't do it in public. Yeah, and I agree with that, the whole public thing. But yeah. I see the whole little don't do it in public. I was going to say, because when it comes to us as Black people, we hear that a lot when other people do it in public. But when we do it in public, oh, yes, we do it in public. We get the razor blades and lemon juice out like, and then sadly, it does become entertainment for everybody else. So, but that's what Charlemagne said. Hey, you could have called me. We could have had this conversation, but you decided you being Roland to go on your show with your panel. You know, you seen any of Roland's show, his panel, you know, they kikiing and ha-ha and calling people names and all kind of things, cuss words and stuff. So to Charlemagne's point, you've been on my show, you know my number, you text me for other things. How come you couldn't just call me and say, hey man, you know, I hear what you're saying. I don't agree with it, but you know, like you said, trying to get clicks and views to drag me from here and there. So then Charlemagne kind of returned the favor. I don't know. King Shaw, he says, I was glad when Charlemagne made him donkey of the day because Roland is a donkey shield for the Democrats. Donkey Democrats, isn't their mascot? Never mind. Mad Doggy says, Roland Martin don't like nobody to outdo him. But it's like, are we in competition? You know what I mean? Because if you're here, now I know some of y'all probably, you know, follow Roland. Now, I don't care, you know, but I would imagine if you're here, you're probably not there as much. Or if you're over there, you're probably not here. So there's like room. There's room for people to say, hey, this here is my cup of tea. That, not so much. So, and I don't know if it's an issue of anybody outdoing him. Let's see. African Native says, right, Demetra, I used to be Catholic in my childhood. Unfortunately, knowledge increases, questioning takes control, and departure implies. Let's see. Thank you so much, African Native. Love and appreciate you that for that super sticker. Thank you. Buckhorse says, I ain't going back. I go home to my Lord and be free. Okay. Rather unique. How you doing? Says 2 Democrat shills going back and forth. Love it. Where's my popcorn? Say something for me. Let's see. Skipping on down. Shimmer, how you doing? Says, I don't listen to Roland. Please stop lumping all Black women into one category. You can't speak for me. Did I do that? If I did, I apologize. Info Mud, how you doing? Says, both of them are not to be trusted. Yeah, you know, it's up to the individual if you want to do that, right? You stupid sunlight. OG Maine, what's going on with you? Hope you're doing well. Let's see. Sister Shirley, how you doing? Says, I really can't concern myself with Roland Martin because he hurts my stomach when I hear his voice. That bad, huh? Man. Well, y'all don't mind me asking, did y'all used to listen to Roland? Like, come on, be honest, you ain't got a lot of kick it. T Jenks, what's going on? It says Roland need to sit down and watch his videos. You know, he can do whatever he wants. He doesn't have to listen to us, and something tells me that he won't. I just feel like you just listen to who you want to listen to, you know, but as far as dragging people because they said something different than you, I think it's like, what are you doing? All the things that we could talk about, right? But again, like I said, who died and made him the king of talking to Black people? Just kind of wondering. Nicholas, how you doing? Y'all got all kind of names for this man, but yeah, that's the word on the curb. You know, some of these things I really can't really read out loud like that. Sibo, how you doing? Says they're both clowns and sellouts. I think I could read that. Yeah, some people would argue that, but again, and I'm not going to be here an hour. Again, I came on here a little bit late because of my internet situation, but I'm getting that under control so that I'll never have that happen again. But yeah, at the end of the day, people should be able to express themselves the way they want to express themselves. Roland should be able to do that the way he wants to do it. Charlemagne, myself, Sister Vicky, Brother Phil, whoever else, right? Everybody should be able to do that, you know. But as far as calling people names, you know, the idiot and Simple Simons and all this other stuff, it's like, why? Because they're not saying the same thing you're saying, because they do not want to be tied to the plantation per se that you're tied to. See, a lot of people are waking up and saying, oh, okay, especially in regard, I know the Republican Party does not care about Black people, but we know that we do not give our votes to the Republican Party like we do the Democrats. So a lot of people are just waking up to the Democrat Party and saying they mean us no earthly good, right? So let me explore other options, whether it is the Republican Party. I'm not telling you to do that or not to do it, or whether it's the couch or whatever. I personally am one of those people. I feel like most definitely you should show up to the state and local elections, because that's where it really has a direct effect on you per what's going on in Washington right now. You have the tug of war per se, because you got certain people in there who just aren't very caring about their constituents, the American people. So we should show up to those type of things. But again, you know, if nobody died and made him the king of Black media, he's the king of his YouTube channel or whatever it is he owns, you know, that he could talk to Black people, but he does not get to tell everybody what they can and cannot say, because it's not what he is saying, right? So again, I'm not trying to defend Charlemagne or whatever the case is. I don't even really have a dog in the fight, as I said, as to what they were talking about. Who's right, who's wrong, I don't know. But I just, again, from the Democrat Party, who says democracy is in danger. Well, is it? Who is endangering it? Is it y'all? Because democracy means that you have a say-so. You can say, you know, what you feel about whatever it is, but you telling me what I can and cannot say? Sure, sounds like you don't believe in democracy yourself. Only if I'm parroting what you're saying, then okay, you cool. But if I say something a little bit differently, because I guess the whole argument is they don't want the Democrats to give up, because that's what Charlemagne was saying. But as Charlemagne said, well, it's easy for Roland to say that. He's not missing anything. And, you know, y'all can go listen to the full context of all that, but he's not missing anything. So, of course, he could sit on his show and tell everybody what they should be doing, right? So, anyway, I'll say that, how you doing? Says, I just wish Black people as the masses would just change our party affiliation to unaffiliated, independent. A lot of this bickering with each other would cease. Yeah, we get on one page, but see, that's the problem. You got these shields are like, well, now we should do this. Now we should do that. We shouldn't, you know, we should do our own research. How about that? On that way you can, you know, decipher what it is and what it's not. Stop. And I say that to people on my show. Don't believe me. Go research it for yourself. I have people call me a liar at least once or twice a week. And I'm like, that's fine. Go prove me to be a liar and then come back and then we can have that conversation. So yeah, I want you to go do your research. Go find out everything for yourself. Don't just be listening to everybody tell you to tap dance like this because I said, nah, because I don't like the tap dance. Light, how you doing? Wow, they lost their Black identity for real. Black Rose, how you doing? Says all government funded healthcare and programs should be available for U.S. citizens only. Absolutely. And listen, with that, I'm going to get out of here because, again, this is not even my time, but I'll be back here tomorrow, 11 a.m. Central Time, to have another great conversation with y'all. But thank you so much for showing up, even for this short time. Don't forget to get the African Diaspora News Channel app so that you can find us any and everywhere. Peace.